So this is a new adventure. I am in no other place but Israel. I'm in Herzliya, riding on a bike path that is supposed to connect me to another bike path that'll take me all the way to Tel Aviv. So I'm gonna try that and see if that works. On the right is the high school I attended. This is not great. I'm not finding the trail, and instead I'm on the bloody freeway. Let's see if I can get out of this. Okay, so I think I found it. I found the trail, and now I'm gonna be heading to Tel Aviv. So that's exciting. So this is apparently a new bike trail that was opened between Herzliya and Tel Aviv. It's just shy of 10 miles. 14 kilometers or so, and gonna test it out now. So the thing is not going all the way through for some reason. Now I have to make my way out. Think I found a new part of it. So the thing is not totally contiguous, but this seems to be decent. Let's see how far this one goes. This part is absolutely amazing. I'm right by the Mediterranean. It's a gorgeous day. It's probably 75 degrees, and I'm basically in Tel Aviv already. This is pretty cool. Okay, I think next stop a smoothie or some ice cream, something like that. This is quite busy here. It's quite amazing. Frozen yogurt time. I guess it's somewhere between a smoothie and a frozen yogurt, something in between. Okay, so had some frozen yogurt, and now it's time to head back. I'm gonna take the same route, and hopefully this time I'll stay on the trail all the way to Herzliya. This part of the trail, I don't know if it can be any nicer. You know, we're right by the ocean. And then they have these quads here. Check it out. It's interesting. Most riders here are on electric bikes. Very interesting to watch. So I've tried several different ways to overcome the closure, and I cannot find a good way, so I'm going to again sneak into the area that is closed, take the gravel path for a few hundred yards, and then reconnect with the trail. So a little gravel never killed anybody. I am back in Herzliya. I'm approaching the high school that we saw earlier, and overall this was pretty great. The only issue is that this bike trail is not contiguous. I think they're still working on it. and I assume that in just a few months it'll be a lot better, but it still is pretty awesome. Good morning. It is day 2 and I'm heading back to Tel Aviv, trying to learn from my mistakes yesterday. So it's been a little easier today. And my destination is a coffee shop at the port of Tel Aviv. So I just made it to Herzliya Pituach and now heading south parallel to Highway 2, and there's a short portion here that yesterday was gravel. We'll see what we can do this day. We'll see what we can do today to overcome the gravel, or whether they'll let me even into the gravel. We'll see. Traffic is pretty busy on the freeway. This is Sunday morning, which I guess here it's the equivalent of Monday, so it's the start of the week, and so very busy traffic to my left. However, as you can see, I'm the only guy on the bike path. So I think I was able to find a detour and resolve the gravel issue. This is another part of the path which I have not been on yesterday, so this took care of that. That's wonderful. I'm excited. I am riding again on my Bike Friday, which is a folding bike. It folds and fits into a suitcase, and as you may have seen, just a regular suitcase, just a regular airline larger suitcase, and it's pretty amazing. These are 20-inch wheel bike, and the gearing ratio makes it ride just like in my case, a touring bike, and it's unbelievably maneuverable and easy to use, and I'm just enjoying it tremendously. Okay, it's time to ride along the beach. Okay, so I am done with my breakfast. This was super yummy. I had a Bulgarian cheese pastry and a poppy seed pastry and some espresso. How bad can that be? Anyway, I'm right at the ocean. This is the Mediterranean, and it's right here. I'm gonna ride along it for a little bit and then head back. Just in front of me is the first Israeli carousel. Not sure what year it's from, but that's what it says. And now just in front there's a musical group that is about to tape a music video right here on the beach. This is the Herzliya Mall, and I'm now heading back.
Little dial is a shield for Sugati. Ich steh, Lechaim, Reina. I cannot say Telki und Beat, der Schüttat. ונדמה שהם נולדו אתמול. סליחה שקיעה, יום רודף עוד יום, אנו בכלל לא השתנה. אנחנו יבטים, ענתך יגרה רעועה.
Good morning. Another little cycling adventure in Israel. I'm riding to a coffee shop in Herzliya and then proceeding to ride a little further towards a town called Ra'anana, where on the border with Ra'anana I'm meeting a friend of a friend who's a cyclist, and he and I are supposed to go cycling together. So I'm excited. I'll be meeting Nathan in about half an hour or so, so I'm gonna have a quick espresso and then head over. Okay, done with the coffee. After a bit of an incident, some guy ran into my bike. It dropped on the floor. He didn't say a word. Very funny. Anyway, continuing now to meet Nathan, my friend's friend, and heading out on a bike ride. בוקר טוב. מצוין, נעים מאוד. This is a local school. Look how many bikes. This is pretty cool.
Very cool. אני חושב שהיו פה פעם יותר פרטסים, אבל הדרים, עכשיו זה ריח מדהים.
כן, כן.
הבעיה היא שתסחו פה את הכל, ויש פה מעט. יש פה עצים.
We are back heading north towards Herzliya from Tel Aviv, this time on a gravel road towards the marina of Herzliya. And my buddy Nathan is riding on this high-end carbon mountain bike and is kicking ass on this road. I'm going a little slower.
איזה כיף לרכוב עם אופר, הביא לנו מזג אוויר מדהים.
This is the Herzliya Municipal Airport. So apparently this is a new neighborhood that had just been built for the folks who've been evacuated from Gaza.
שכונה של מפונים מהאזור של עזה, והם פה כבר הרבה זמן.
וואו.
זה הערבות ההדדית של חברי הקיבוצים, בכלל כל עם ישראל.
וואו. אני חושב שזה חוצה ישראל. הרי את הסימון. Okay, so now we're leaving Rishpon and heading back to Ra'anana. Take here now. So on my left are the orange groves. This entire area used to be orange groves and now very few are left. Okay, what you cannot see through the GoPro is the smell of springtime orange grove flowers, which is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Take some and bring it home.
So this is it. I just said goodbye to Nathan. The guy's incredible. He's a real animal. He's a fast, strong rider, and I think he must be in his 70s or something. Anyway, he's very strong and a super nice guy. And now heading back to my home base. The smell of these orange groves and the ocean was absolutely incredible. So I'm quite excited. This was lovely. Good morning! A new Bike Friday adventure in Israel. I am riding my bike from Herzliya to a town called Binyamina. So I'm heading due north and taking some hopefully small or less busy rural roads, certainly trying to avoid highways, and it's just before 7 a.m. and I'm heading out. It is still nice and cool, although it's expected to warm up today. Let's see how it goes. I'm approaching the same intersection as I met Nathan at yesterday, but today I'm continuing northbound towards Ra'anana, heading for a quick coffee stop, a little espresso and a pastry, and I think I see some protesters. These, I suspect, are folks who are protesting to bring back the kidnapped folks from Gaza. I think you can see them. Boker tov. So had my little coffee, it was pretty cool. Had this Israeli pastry called burekas with egg in it. Also, they added egg and some veggies and some espresso. And now heading back to the route. I see right ahead of me that there are even more protesters now at that intersection for those kidnapped folks in Gaza, for the hostages. And I'll be passing by them, and then from there back to the route along the Ra'anana Park area. בוקר טוב. תודה. I am now on the same road as I was yesterday. This is a road that is yet to be open to the public. So it's brand new, clean and beautiful tarmac. And I'm not exactly sure where it's taking me, but I'm hoping that I'm going in the general direction of where I need to go to, so we'll see. And the map keeps rerouting me, so not entirely sure yet, but we'll see what happens. I am now on a bike path that is parallel to Highway 2, which I believe is one of the main highways connecting Tel Aviv to Haifa. So I'm heading due north, and there's a beautiful bike trail here, which is great. Not sure how long it's gonna last. I now entered what is known as Israel National Trail, which it is my understanding that goes the entire length of Israel. I did not think that I'll ever see cars here, but this is the second car I see. But nonetheless, this is a kind of a gravelly road. We'll see how it goes. I'm a little concerned. I was trying to avoid this, but somehow Google rerouted me to Israel National Trail. So hopefully the road is not too bad and my Bike Friday can handle it. We'll see. I think I'm a little bit lost, but I do see a bike trail. I'm gonna connect to it, and the general direction seems okay. So we'll see how it goes. So I think I'm officially lost now. I'm somewhere in the southern part of Netanya or something like that. But I'm gonna try and weave my way, as Google Maps is not a big help right now. I think I figured it out after getting lost a little bit in Netanya and being on some gravel roads and all that. I'm now on some relatively quiet rural roads with wide shoulders, heading to this bakery that I want to visit and meet my friends Danny and Donna there. So it's quite exciting. I think I'm about half an hour or so away, and from here on out it should be fairly easy navigating there. Good morning. Another little Bike Friday Israel adventure. Today I'm heading to a city called Ramat Gan, or actually Bnei Brak, which, as I understand, is a religious place. but there's some fancy schmancy restaurant or something that I've been invited to, so that's where I'm heading to. And I've decided to take a slightly longer route to stay as much as possible on bike trails and avoid the traffic and ride along the ocean, and then head eastwards towards Bnei Brak from Tel Aviv. So that's my plan. Let's see how it goes. So this is the Herzliya main train station. I'm just passing by it, kind of on a shortcut back to the bike path. So this is just to avoid some additional trafficy area. Now I'm crossing highway number 2, or maybe number 20. Or perhaps here it's the same, I'm not sure, but this is one of the main freeways that connects Tel Aviv to Haifa. So this goes north to south along the coast. After my ride yesterday and all those crazy roads trying to find the right path to Binyamina and that part of the country, riding back on bike paths is a welcome change, as it is nice and it's quiet and no traffic and, you know, no cars, so it's much safer and a lot more fun to ride. So anyway, I'm heading south now from Herzliya Pituach, which is kind of the high-tech center of the country, towards Tel Aviv, and then from there weaving my way through the Tel Aviv area towards the town of Bnei Brak, where I'm meeting my friend for lunch. Again, Bnei Brak is known as an ultra-religious enclave, but I suspect that the place where we are meeting is of a more secular nature. But we'll see. I've not been there in decades, so I don't really know. So as I mentioned, I brought my Bike Friday with me, which is a 20-inch wheel bike that folds and fits in a suitcase. And typically in the States, in San Francisco, every now and then you'd see a folding bike or 20-inch wheel bike. Every now and then you'll come across a Bike Friday. So while there are no Bike Fridays here, at least I have not seen any, I'm sure there are a ton of folding bikes with 20-inch wheel that from afar look very similar to Bike Friday, but yet all of them, 100% of them, are electric bikes. So lots of people here ride on electric bikes with 20-inch wheels that are folding and that again look very similar, kind of the same general design as the Bike Friday. So it's kind of funny as I see them from afar and I think, oh man, another Bike Friday, but then no, it's not. It's some cheapo Chinese electric bike, but they seem to be very popular here. So that's that. So I'm starting to weave my way towards Bnei Brak, which is the town just east of here, and hoping that I'll find this place. It's a little complicated, but so far I'm following the river and I should be okay. It seems as if navigation to the place may be much easier than I thought it would be, and without even battling any street traffic, as the place is right next to the Yukon River. There's a bike path along the river, and all I need to do is just follow the bike path. And while the river is far from a straight line, the same is with the path, so this should take me directly there, or at least very, very close. So I'm quite excited. This is really, really nice. The bike path is awesome, and the weather is beautiful. It's probably mid 70s, maybe low 70s, so not too hot, very pleasant. I think I made it. I see the restaurant. It's an Uzbeki restaurant. I'm excited. Well, I finished my lunch with my buddy Dina, and it was lovely. It was nice seeing her, and we had an Uzbeki lunch. Some, unusual cuisine a bit, but it was yummy. And now I'm back at this big park. I think they call it Joshua's Park or something like that, which runs right by the Yukon River, and it's really nice. The weather had cooled down a bit, so I think right now it's maybe 70 degrees, maybe a little less, and there's a nice breeze, so it's perfect cycling weather. And now heading back to the port of Tel Aviv, and then on the other bike path northbound to Herzliya. Made it to Herzliya. I'm about 15-20 minutes away from home and looking forward to a nice warm shower and then seeing some friends for dinner. So it's a fun day.
אתה ביפו, במזקקת Milk and Honey, the best distillery in Israel and the Mediterranean.
This is the real thing. So we are on a private tour of the top distillery in Israel. It's called Milk and Honey, and this is in the city of Jaffa, just south of Tel Aviv. And it's incredible. We're in this amazing room. It's like a cavern of the distillery where they keep all the whiskey barrels. It's pretty incredible.
אנחנו לא עושים רק התפלה.
אתם אחרי האוסמוזה ההפוכה, אתם מוסיפים למורה.
זה אנחנו לא עושים רק התפלה. האוסמוזה ההפוכה זה שממש מוסיפים למים. זה הניח השעורה שלנו. היא נכנסת המגרסה, זו שעורה מעושנת. לעשות בישול איטי ארוך, שאנחנו נקבל כמה שיותר את הסוכרים מתוך השעורה. אחרי 5 שעות אנחנו נקבל מיץ שעורה מאוד מאוד מתוק, שנקרא וורט. את הוורט אנחנו נסנן, נקרר, ונעביר אותו למכלי ההתססה. ופה נגלדו די זיקוק שיש לנו פה.
הוא מדולם, כן, הוא מגיע ל-70 ומשהו ומדלמים.
זה אחרי הדילול.
זה אחרי הדילול לפני החביב.
אתה מבין את זה? תסתכל, זה פיור.
השאפ הוא קצת דחוס, בואו עושים קצת על היד.
טוב, חבר'ה, בואו נחכה לכם טעימה מהחבית שלכם.
החבית שלנו זה אמירה מוגזמת.
כן. Welcome to Israel, the countries of Jews. תביאו כוסות.
אוקיי.
תביאו כוסות אליי. טל, רוצה גם איתו?
מה תואמים?
פיתת רימונים.
ברור.
אמור להיות בחדר כוסות. יש מאחורי יש שם 2 שורות של...
תודה.
לקחתי, אני רק צריך את הכוסות. למרות שאולי אני אגיע
Okay, so every distillery has its lunatic who climbs up all the barrels and goes. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. So, this is with Tabasco?
hot sauce.
Hot sauce, unbelievable. Good morning. Another Bike Friday adventure in Israel. I'm on my way on a bike path, heading first to the port of Tel Aviv, where I'm hoping to get some breakfast. Not sure if things are gonna be open today, so we'll see. I may need to be a bit creative in finding some coffee, but I think I should be okay. The weather cooled down considerably. It's probably about 59, maybe 60 degrees right now. So it's nice and cool, perfect cycling weather. And it's really nice. So weather is nice, the bike path is nice and open. Every now and then you see another cyclist in the other direction. So I'm delighted, and the Bike Friday is doing the job in a fantastic way. Really, I'm enjoying it tremendously here. It's like the perfect bike for this kind of both city type biking and rural riding and a little bit of gravel. You know, I put on these slightly wider tires that are 1.75 inch, so I can easily get on some degree of gravel without a problem. So every now and then I do so, and it works great. So next stop is Tel Aviv Port, on the lookout for an open coffee shop, so we'll see what happens. In order to limit the weight of my bike's suitcase, I took off the fenders, the mud guards off the bike, thinking that I'll never need them here. But well, not that it's been raining hard, but at least today the ground is wet, so I think I'm getting a nice wet line on my backside, but that's okay. I'm sure it'll dry off in minutes. But actually the fact that it did rain kind of makes things feel much fresher, and it smells nice, so can't complain. So the path this morning is exceptionally busy with some cyclists, but mostly joggers. Lots of joggers. Okay, so coffee was a great success. Found an open place which was super yummy. And now heading south, riding towards Jaffa. Not sure if I'm going to be able to make it. I don't know if there are bike paths or something, but I'm going to head over there in the general direction of Jaffa. Let's see what happens. I am now at an iconic Tel Aviv beach. This place had been featured in an Israeli cult film called Metzitzim, and I think that this is where it was filmed. This is very exciting. Very, very cool. And now I'm getting on a bike path that hopefully will take me towards Jaffa. Let's see. So this is the Israeli version of pickleball. It's called matkot. So straight ahead on the hillside is the old city of Jaffa. I'm hoping that the bike path I'm on will take me all the way. I'm not sure, but we'll see. So far, this bike path looks promising. I'm getting closer and closer. Jaffa is probably, I don't know, 2-3 miles south of here. And I'm gonna go explore. So Jaffa is the town on the hillside, a bit to the right. You can see the trees on top of the hill. So that's where I'm heading to. Now we can get a good view of Tel Aviv from Jaffa. So we're looking north towards Tel Aviv, the various hotels and office buildings along the coast. Pretty amazing. So right in front of us we see the Bloomfield Stadium. Next to was the brewery, not the brewery, sorry, the distillery. The Milk and Honey Distillery that I went to. And here, looking north, that is Tel Aviv. Let's zoom in a little bit. So the next stop is the Abu Afia bakery, which is considered the best bakery in Jaffa. And although I've had a big breakfast, I just can't say no. This is a must. this one is with za'atar. I think this one is with Bulgarian feta. This guy is with mozzarella. Then we have some mushroom, some egg, some sesame seeds, pizza area, and here we're coming to the area of the sweeter stuff. These are rogalats, I guess with chocolate or something. Pretty cool. Well, I think mission accomplished. I found Abulafia, I got the goods, and luckily I have a little bag on my handlebars, so I'm gonna bring some food and eat it at home, as I've had a huge breakfast. Gonna head north now, back towards Herzliya. I am back on the bike path, heading north now towards Herzliya, and there's a bit more bike traffic here at this time of day. It's a little later in the morning, so I guess folks had woken up, but the weather is still lovely, and I can't wait to try those baked goods from the Abulafia bakery. I am sitting now at an acoustic chamber that is right behind me. I'm gonna turn the camera and you can see it. Hold on. So this is the acoustic chamber. Pretty cool. Now to visit a friend that I haven't seen in a while, so I'm excited. They live in the western part of Herzliya, in a part of town called Herzliya Pituach, and I guess it's slightly more upscale part of town. So I'm heading there. Every now and then you can see a fancy car. Just saw a Lambo on my way, so you get the idea. On my way home, done hanging out with my buddies, and now going back to home base. This is it. This is the end of the Jaffa adventure. I'm now almost at home base and about to have some lunch with Abulafia pastries. I'm very excited. See ya.
זה מקוצר, מכיוון שאני מבין שיש פה אנשים רעבים מאוד, אז אנחנו נעשה את זה קצר. אני מקווה רק שהשירה תהיה אדירה, ואנחנו מתחילים בברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. אמן.